How are you today? Do I ever have a fun activity for us to do together? But before I get started, I'm going to make one comment. If you look behind me, you see there's a bookshelf and a window and a big stuffy and some old books. I'm at the Pioneer Hotel. I'm making this video at the Pioneer Hotel today. Now, for those of you who have been down here and done programs and playtime with me, you know the Pioneer Hotel is a very noisy place. It's very windy in the park. So there's a lot of rattling and banging and stuff. So you might hear a little bit of that while I make my movie today. Now, right down to business. Today we're going to make something that is so much fun. It's fun to make, it's fun to play with, and it's even more fun to share. Here's what it looks like. Ooh, can you see that? It's called cloud dough. It's a little bit like Play-Doh, a little bit different. If you've made something called oobleck, it's a little bit like oobleck, but it's solid all the time. Feels so good to squish, and it smells really good. There we go. Now this stuff it's hard to tell on the video here, but it's like a bright neon green almost color, but on the video it looks yellow. Now, almost dropped it. Cloud dough can be played with like Play-Doh or any other kind of dough that you like to play with at home. It's very, very simple to make, and it's even easier to play with. Now, let's get down to it. Cloud dough has 3 ingredients. 3, and only 2 if you want. The third one is optional, so it's very simple. And it's made with things that you usually would have around the house. Now, the first ingredient is cornstarch. See that? Now, the cornstarch can't really be replaced. It will come out completely differently, have a totally different texture, etc. if you use something other than cornstarch. So you need cornstarch for sure. If you don't have any, this craft's not for you today. Cornstarch, ingredient number 1. Ingredient number 2 is something to mix in with the cornstarch. You can use hair conditioner, or you can use hand lotion. Those 2 things work the best. So you pick one. Maybe you have some lotion at home, so you use that. Maybe you have some old junky conditioner you didn't like very much, so you want to use it for a craft. Those are your 2 options there. So cornstarch, lotion, or conditioner. Bing. And then the third ingredient, which is optional, is food coloring. So you can turn it into whatever color you like, or that you have kicking around the house. I've got all 4 colors in here, so we can make it any color we want. Now, in order to make the dough itself, we need some working materials. Also very simple. I have a mixing bowl. You need a mixing bowl, a mixing spoon, stir, 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 and a measuring cup. Now, usually when an activity requires measurement or a measuring cup, I give you a specific measurement, like 1 cup or half a cup. Now, the great thing about this recipe is it's very simple and it's very versatile. That means that it's very, very easy to adapt and change. It's so easy, in fact, that we don't even need to write the recipe down. My cup, I have a 1/3 cup, and that's what we're going to use today. Okay? So the reason this recipe is so easy to do and easy to remember is because you choose how much conditioner or lotion you're going to use. In this instance, we're going to use 1/3 of a cup. And then you use twice as much conditioner on top. Oh, cornstarch on top. So I'm going to do 1/3 of a cup of lotion, 2/3 of a cup of cornstarch. If this was a 1 cupper, if I had a 1 cup measurement and I wanted to make a big batch, I'd do 1 cup of lotion and 2 cups of cornstarch. Do you understand? Let's get going. I got my 1/3 cup and I'm going to use my lotion. So I get that all in there. Fill it up. See? I'm filling it up. Squeezing it out. Now, I need to shake it a little bit to get it to settle in there. Shake, shake, shake. See, there's still lots of room left, so I'm going to put a little bit more in there. Ooh, it smells like mangoes and coconuts. Very tropical. Okay. There we go. So I've got my 1/3 cup is full, all the way to the top of lotion. I'm going to get that in my bowl. Get it in there. I'm going to scoop it out with my spoon. Kind of like making a cake, but a little bit different. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Now, it's important to use cornstarch that you're not going to use with food again. Craft cornstarch, like if you like to make oobleck and stuff around the house. And I'll tell you why, because if you're going to use the same scoop again, a little bit of lotion or conditioner is going to get inside that tub, and it will always smell like that. So if this is going to be the food cornstarch at your house, you would need another measuring cup or to clean this one out first. Otherwise, you'll get smelly lotion in there. So now, if you remember, I used 1/3 of a cup of lotion, which means I'm going to use 2/3 of a cup, because we double it, 2/3 of a cup of cornstarch. So ready. That's 1 scoop is 1/3. Notice I'm tapping a little bit on there so that it's nice and flat. 1/3, 2/3. There we go. Here it is in my dish. Oh, that light doesn't shine. That light shines really brightly from the window on my dish, makes it hard to see. Then you just slowly mix it together. Now, notice I'm doing that pretty slowly because cornstarch is very fine and it will just go poof into the air if you try to mix it too quickly or too vigorously. So we get started with the spoon. Oh, see, it's starting to spill already. And mix and mix and mix and mix and mix. But sooner or later, you're going to have to get in there with your hands if you want it to all come together as a firm dough. So after a little while, you start to see, there you go, you start to see that it looks kind of like a crumbly pastry dough almost, for those of you that bake. That's when it's slowly coming together. What you want is to mix it until there's no more loose powder in the bowl. And then once you reach that point like this, it almost looks like whipped cream. Oh, it's getting all over my machines here. It almost looks like whipped cream or like the beginnings of some bread dough or almost like scrambled eggs. Once it gets like that, that's when you start to mix with your hands. Ooh, that's gushy. Ooh, so slimy and sticky. Now, ooh, I'm dropping a lot. This one can get pretty messy. Mix, mix, mix. Now, as I'm mixing it, you'll see a lot of it is just stuck right to my hands. We don't want that. That means that it's a little bit too wet, and I just need a touch more cornstarch. If it's too wet, you need a little bit extra cornstarch, just a little bit. And if it's too dry, that means you need a bit of extra lotion. Just put it a little bit there. Now, oh, that's better. So once it no longer sticks to your hand, but it all stays together like a nice ball of dough, that's when you know you're done. Right now, it's mostly just sticking to my hand. Okay, let's see. Let's get my other hand in there. Now we're going to make a real mess. Big mess, big mess. Okay, here we go. Now, let's see. See that? Ooh, wrong side. It's just a nice ball of, now it's just a nice ball of dough. Let's make it into, see? Ooh. You can squish it just like you would with regular Play-Doh. Roll it into a ball. And now all that stuff that was stuck to my hand before is just sticking right to the dough. That's when you know it's ready, when the dough sticks to itself and not to you. Can you hear that banging? It's really windy in the park today. Now, give that a smell. This stuff almost smells like almonds, actually. So I want to add some color to my dough. I think I'm just going to make it plain blue, just to make it easy. Oh, get out of there. Get out of there. It's stuck. I'm just going to make some blue dough. Ooh, the lid popped right off. Now there's a trick to adding your food color to your cloud dough. I'm going to pinch all the way around the edges like this until it looks like a little bowl. Ooh, see? Looks like it folded into itself. Looks like a little bowl. And I'm going to take the food coloring and I'm going to put a couple drops down into the bottom of the bowl. Maybe 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's important to remember that if you use too much food coloring, when you play with your dough, it will actually dye your hands. So then I fold the tops of the bowl back into itself so the color is all trapped inside there. That way, if I mix it like that, with the color trapped inside, a little less gets on my hands and a little more stays in the dough. So then I just mix and mix and mix like this. Oh, it's already getting on my hands. Oh well. Some of it will wash off, some of it won't. If it's not a good time for you or your child to dye your hands a color, like maybe you're getting some family photos taken later today or tomorrow, or you have an important interview or something, maybe don't add the color because you will get a little bit. You will get dyed a little bit. Ooh, it's flying all over the place. Okay, let's see. Ooh, it's making a really pretty swirly blue here. Get lots of the dye off my hands and put it back in the dough. Move my conditioner. Cornstarch, I keep calling it the wrong name. Okay, let's see. Ooh, it feels good. It's so soft. And the added bonus of this stuff is it moisturizes your hands while you play with it. Unlike Play-Doh, which dries them out because it's so salty. Okay, get a good look at that. See, it looks like a little fluffy cloud. Isn't that fun? That's why they call it cloud dough, I think. That, and it's so soft. So, that's it. You remember that you have 3 basic ingredients: cornstarch, conditioner or lotion, and food coloring, optional. And you choose how much lotion you're going to use, and then you double that amount in cornstarch. 1 cup lotion, 2 cups cornstarch. Half a cup of lotion, 1 cup of cornstarch. And you squish it and squish it and squish it and squeeze it until it's a beautiful uniform ball, just like this one. Now, when you're done playing and it's time to put it away, you want to put your cloud dough, this is what my green stuff was in a sealable container or bag of some kind. So I will put mine overnight in this baggie. See? Not easy. It will last for quite a while. If you keep it for too long, it might take on a bit of a funky odor. And if you really leave it for a very, very long time, the worst that would happen is it would grow mold, like after some weeks and weeks. So if you discover some old cloud dough in a cupboard somewhere, maybe give it a check before you play with it. So there you have it. That's it. That's how you make cloud dough. Wasn't that fun? Thanks for joining me. Bye.